Hello again. Yes, this is Tish. I bet you were wondering who was really on the last video because I didn't give you my sign. But you know what? I am the real Tish, don't worry. You have entered part 5 of Elmira. And I promised to tell you about someone who was pretty scary and threatening to take over the world. This is back in the 1950s. I was young, but I was old enough to understand the words that my father said after the words that this person said on the television. And that person was Khrushchev. He ran Russia at that time. And he was a little stout, heavy guy, bald. And when he talked, he was like a tiger. And I can remember sitting there with my father, watching his talking. And he said these words that have been imprinted on my heart forever. It really changed my life. And he said, and I quote, "We will bury your grandchildren," unquote. I was old enough to realize he's talking to my father's generation. And he's talking about my children. I turned around to look at my father. I did not have to say a word. He knew exactly what was happening. And his words, and these are also imprinted in my heart, and I quote, "That will never happen," unquote. Thank God for Daddy. Now I'm thinking, oh my gosh, there is this person who's running part of the world, and he wants to come and take us and bury my children. But Dad assured me that was not going to happen. All of a sudden, there was a baby in our house. I had no idea where this baby came from. But there is this little, cute, adorable baby. Oh, I was amazed. I was amazed, and I fell in love with him early on. And I tried to take care of him, and I think I did. I was only 4 years older than him, but I did. I have pictures. This is pictures of Billy. This is the youngest picture that I have of my brother. This was Christmas 1956. He was adorable. And here I am. He's a little older. Let's see. August 11th, 1957. So he's about 16 months old. And here I am trying to hold him up. He didn't want to stand up. So I was trying to help him. So I finally asked, where did this baby come from? I couldn't imagine. But my father said, from heaven. And I went and I told everybody I had a baby brother and he came from heaven. A lot of people laughed at me. But my father said babies come from heaven, and I know that my father was not lying to me. And years later, I had a personal experience that proved to me that babies really did come from heaven. You know, I only saw 2 incidents when Billy which was the name of my brother, got abused. He was probably 3 or 4 years old, and we had a neighbor, Ralphie, who was the brother of Kathy, and was born again about 4 years after Kathy. So there was 2 girls the same age and 2 brothers the same age. But Ralphie liked to fight. He always was picking on my brother, hitting him, smacking him. And my brother would stand there and take it. I even intervened a couple of times, and I got Ralphie away from my brother. And I took him and I put him in his yard, and I locked the gate so he couldn't get to my brother. This happened time and time and time again, until one day, there's Ralphie slapping and beating my brother, and my brother's standing there, taller, bigger, and crying his eyes out. Well, my mother came down those steps from the 2nd floor, grabbed my brother, took him upstairs in the house, and started to beat him. I mean, she beat him. I watched her. She hit him time and time and time again, and screaming, "This is what you're going to get. You either fight Ralphie or I'm going to do this to you every time." She beat him. She beat him so bad, and for such a long period, because she was frustrated, that he had welts all over his body. He had bruises from head to his knees. She really beat him almost to death. She wound up, and she was bruised, her wrist and upper arm and her hand from it. I was happy that she was bruised. My brother recovered, but she really gave him a beating. And from then on, guess what my brother did when Ralphie came at him? Boom! One punch, one push, and that was the end of it. Ralphie never tried to fight with my brother again. It took one time for my brother to react. And bye-bye, Ralphie. So, that's the only thing I remember in our childhood, but I was still getting it. Stay tuned for my interaction with one of the most beautiful, admired, and famous women in this world. I thought she was an angel. Grace Kelly. See you soon.